morning. We are live, or good afternoon, I should say. Happy Monday. Hope you guys had an awesome weekend and are ready to get a awesome workout in on this beautiful Monday. My name is Sam, and I will be your strength coach for today's full body strength circuits workouts, and a little bit of cardio will be mixed in as well. We're going to get into our warm-up in just a moment, so be sure you have enough space. Do that area check. Make sure you aren't going to hit anything or anyone around you. Also, this afternoon, I will be using a set of dumbbells or a set of weights for today's class. It is not necessary, but if you're at the gym, you can grab any weights, kettlebell, dumbbells, or if you are at home, then you can grab some household objects if you'd like to. We're going to get into our warm-up, so if you aren't already, stand on up. We're just going to start by marching in place, bringing the knees up high, pumping our arms, just getting our bodies moving. So nice and steady, chest is open. Make sure we're taking deep breaths. The heart rate's going to get up here. Let's bring the heels back. First up, butt kicks down. Nice and easy. Just lifting that heel towards the lower glutes. Pumping the arms. Picking that pace up. Let's go into some jumping jacks. Jumping up nice and high. If we'd like to, we can do that side-to-side step. Remembering to breathe. Give me 3, 2, and 1. Next up, going to our elephant stretch or our cherry pickers. One foot is flat, one heel out. Sitting the hip back, starting with the arms back. We're scooping the ground, coming to the ceiling. Alternate sides. Finding our balance here. We're nice and controlled. Looking straight forward. Feeling the stretch in our hips, glutes, and hamstrings. Big inhale down. Exhale to the ceiling. Give me one more on each side. Last one. Big stretch. Next, we're going to go into some arm circles. Warming up the chest, shoulders, starting back first. Big circles. We're standing up nice and tall and rotating whenever we're ready. Forward, big circles. Deep breath. 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to take that arm across, give it a big squeeze, and alternate sides. About one more on each side here, just feeling that stretch in our upper back and shoulders. Last one. Next up, we're just going to do some air squats to get those hips and knees warmed up. So getting into our squat position. Feet should be a little bit wider than shoulder width. We're sitting back into our hips. Most of our weight should be in our heels. Sitting back, squeezing the glutes at the top. Chest is nice and open. Let's just do about 10 of these. Whatever pace you're comfortable with. Warming up the hips, the legs, and our glutes here. Inhale down. Exhale, squeeze the glutes. Give me 3 more. 2, and last one here. Good job, guys. Shake it out. Get some water if you need to, or go fill up that water bottle. And we're about to get into our circuits now. Like I mentioned, it is a circuit style class. So I will go through each movement back to back with a little rest in between, and then we'll go into repeating the whole circuit. We've got about 5 movements today, 30 to 40 seconds each, unless it is a single leg, single arm. That is about 15 to 20. So go ahead, turn that fan on if you already haven't. Get some water, and we're about to get into our first movement. Alrighty, guys. Picking up those weights if we're using them. If not, just using your body weight here. We are first going to go into a narrow to wide squat with an option of adding in a calf raise here. So narrow, we're going to be about shoulder width apart or hip distance apart. We're going to squat down, still sitting back into our hips, squeezing the glutes up, and then wide. We're going to take that foot outwards to go wider than shoulder width, squatting down, back to center. Having the option to add in that calf raise or to go on the tippy toes at the top. So we're sitting back on the way up. You can go into that calf raise. So just coming up off of your heels and onto your toes. That's an option here. So we're going to be alternating from narrow to wide for 40 seconds. Weight on our shoulders, chest is open, feet stay nice and flat, unless we're going into that calf raise. And let's go. We're sitting back, optional calf raise here, and wider. So we're nice and controlled, especially if we're going on the tippy toes, finding that balance, working the lower body with the glutes, the legs, and our calves, of course, if we're adding in the tippy toes here. You're about halfway there. Remember to breathe. Inhale down, exhale up onto the toes. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back down. Next up is we've got a single arm, single leg movement. So here we're going to go into a curl to press, having the option of going on one foot. So either on both feet, curling the dumbbell to shoulder and pressing to the ceiling. So for our biceps curl and press, we can be on both feet nice and flat. Or if we'd like to challenge ourselves, we can lift that one foot while doing our curl to press. Nice and controlled. So choose your option. You also have the option to just bring toes back for a little bit less stability, but more than the toes hovering here. So choose your option. We're going to have about 15 to 20 seconds on each arm. Nice firm grip on that weight. And let's go. Weight comes to shoulder and pressing it straight up to our chest. Back down to shoulder, back down to our hips. So we're remembering those checkpoints: ceiling, shoulder, hips, back to shoulder, and ceiling. 10 more seconds here. Keeping the elbow nice and close to our torso. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switching arms here. Weight comes into the left hand. Elbows nice and close to our torso. Remember, we're curling and pressing straight up. 20 seconds here. And let's go. Curl to the shoulder. Press up straight to the ceiling. And back down. Controlling that weight in hand. Remembering it's about quality, not quantity, guys. So nice and controlled. Squeezing the arm and that biceps curl. And working the shoulders with the press. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wherever you are, still follow those checkpoints. Back down. Alright, guys. Next up, we are going to go some more upper body here. So grabbing both of those dumbbells. We're going to get in our deadlift position. So we're going to have a slight bend in our knees. Feet should be directly under our hips. We're going to be hinging the hips back, leaning the torso forward, and having those weights nice and close to our legs. We're looking straight down, rolling the shoulders back. Here, we're going to go into a bent over row. So bringing the dumbbells to our chest, elbows come straight back and back down. Also working our back here, staying in this bent over position. We're gonna be here for 40 seconds. Feet stay nice and flat. And let's go. Weight comes into the chest and back down. Taking deep breaths. Sitting the hips back, squeezing at the top. We're nice and controlled. 10 more seconds here. The feet should be flat and we should be looking straight down at the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Standing on back up. Next here we are going to go into a wide or a semi-sumo deadlift. So here either grabbing one or both of those weights. We're going to have a wider stance here, so a bit wider than shoulder width. It's just semi-sumo, so not super wide, but not super narrow either, but wider than our shoulders. And we're going to be holding that weight down between our legs, rolling the shoulders back to keep the chest nice and open. We're sitting back into our hips, coming down, and squeezing the glutes at the top here. So a bent leg deadlift. We're going to have 40 seconds here. And whenever you're ready, let's go. We're sitting back into our hips, squeezing the glutes up. We're nice and controlled. So taking our time down and a bit quicker back up. Big inhale. Exhale, squeeze the glutes. We should be looking straight forward, having a firm grip on that weight. Going down as low as we're comfortable with. Let's go for 10 more seconds here. Most of our weight should be in our heels. So we're sitting back, squeezing the glutes. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alrighty guys, next up, we're going to do some cardio. So getting down onto the ground, we've got some mountain climbers. So that's all, 40 seconds mountain climbers, and then we've got a water break. So we're getting into our plank position, remembering the wrists are under the shoulders as always, so the arms are nice and straight. Pressing the fingertips down, bringing knee to elbow. Back is nice and flat, bracing that core and squeezing our glutes. 40 seconds here, and let's go. We're up, knee to elbow, having the option to be nice and controlled or running in place. Either or, choose whatever your body is comfortable with. We should be looking straight down and taking deep breaths here. Halfway there. Squeeze the core. Tighten up those glutes. 10 seconds. You can do it, guys. You've got a water break after this. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming on up. Woo! Stretch it out. Reach to the ceiling. Reach to the toes. And get some water, guys. That was the first time around with our circuit. We're going to have a little water break, a little time to rest here, and then we're going to go into repeating all of those movements. Get some water. Taking this time to reflect on our circuit. Check in with your bodies. Was that a little too intense, not intense enough? Maybe you need to up your pace or take it back, add weight, take the weight off, etc. So stay thinking about that now before we get back into our circuit. Also getting water and taking some deep breaths to lower that heart rate just a bit. Whew. Alrighty guys, we're about to get back into it with those narrow to wide squats, trying to add in that calf raise if we can. to challenge ourselves just a bit. So weight is on shoulders if we're using it. Remember, we're narrow, hip distance apart. Squatting down, coming to the tippy toes, and then going wide. Squatting down and coming to the tippy toes. So 40 seconds alternating from narrow to wide here. And let's go. We're sitting back to our hips, nice and controlled. Tippy toes up, and we're wider. Same deal. Sitting back, coming to the tippy toes. Trying to hold that calf raise for as long as we can. And coming back down. If we lose our balance, that is perfectly okay. These are challenging. Staying on those toes. Give me 10 more seconds here. Taking deep breaths. Inhale down. Exhale onto those toes. 5, 4, 3, 2, and the last one. Finish it out, guys. Alrighty, next up, we're going to go into that single arm curl to press. Here, remembering the elbows nice and close. The wrist is facing outwards for the curl. Having the option to be stationary with both feet flat. The left toes back, or those left toes elevated here. So choose whatever option your body is comfortable with. Try them all out. And have 20 seconds each hand. And let's go. Curling up to the shoulder and pressing straight up to the ceiling. Remembering those checkpoints. So hip, shoulder, and ceiling. About halfway there. If we're on our one foot and like have more stability, then we can bring those toes back. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Follow the checkpoints back down. Controlling that weight. Switching sides over to the left hand. Here we're going to be flat on our left foot and the right toes are up, or just both feet down. Again, elbows close, wrist is outwards, and let's go. Curling to the shoulder, up straight to the ceiling. Nice and controlled here, guys. This opposite hand I like to have out for balance. Working on our stability and balance here, as well as our core strength and upper body strength. 10 more seconds. Squeezing the arm up. Working the shoulders to the ceiling. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If you're up, control it back down. Shoulder and to the hip. Awesome job, guys. Next up, we're going to go back into our bent over rows here. So double arm, weight in both hands. Feet are directly under our hips in our deadlift position. Bending the knees, sitting the hips back. We're leaning the torso forward and rolling the shoulders back so our chest is nice and open. Remembering here, bringing the elbows straight back, weight into our chest, and back down. 40 seconds, and let's go. Elbows come back, squeezing up, loosening back down. Taking deep breaths, big exhale, squeeze the back. Inhale, coming down. Halfway there, we should be looking straight down at the ground, just so we don't strain our necks here. Working the upper back. Give me 10 more seconds. Feet stay nice and flat. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Standing on back up. Next, we're going to go into that bent leg semi-sumo deadlift here. So either with your body weight or with a weight or household object. We're in that semi-sumo stance, so not super duper wide, not too narrow, but a bit wider than our shoulder width here. And We're bending our legs, so we're sitting the hips back, having that weight down between our legs, squeezing the glutes up. Nice and controlled, and let's go. Sitting the hips back, chest is open, and quicker back up. We're nice and controlled, coming down as low as we're comfortable with. Remembering to breathe, big inhale to the ground. Exhale, squeezing the glutes. About halfway there. Most of our weight should be in our heels, so the feet should stay flat. 10 seconds. Chest is nice and open. Squeezing the glutes, working the lower body here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! You're almost there, guys. Next up, going into our mountain climbers. Here, you have the option to be on your palms, so on your hands, or if you do have that set of dumbbells, and you like to balance on your dumbbells while doing the mountain climbers, that is an option as well. If your wrists may be hurting during those climbers, if not, just the palms are nice and flat. Remembering that the wrists are always under our shoulders. Body's nice and flat, knee to elbow. 40 seconds here, and then we're gonna cool it down, guys. Let's go, knee to elbow. Whatever pace you are comfortable with. So either nice and controlled, or we can run in place here. Being sure we press the fingertips down. For keeping the back nice and flat, bracing that core, and as always, remembering to breathe. You're over halfway there. Don't drop it. If we need to slow it down, then slow it down, but try and keep it going. 10 seconds. Woo! Deep breaths. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming down. Woo, and staying back up. How are you guys feeling? Give yourself a round of applause or a pat on the back. Grab some water, and we're about to go into our cool down. So lowering that heart rate and relaxing our bodies. Woo. But first, get you some water. Alrighty, guys, cooling it down. Be sure you have, again, an open space on the floor, so get that object or those weights out of the way. And we're first going to start by lowering that heart rate. So we're standing up nice and tall in that mountain pose. We're going to take a big inhale up and exhale down. Deep breaths, breathing in for as long as we can and exhaling for as long as we can. One more. And exhale. Next up, we're going to reach towards our toes, so sitting the hips back, leaning the torso forward, reaching down as far as we're comfortable with. Feeling that stretch in our torso. Letting our arms hang and feeling the stretch in the back of our legs as well. And then sitting on back up. We're going to take a seat down on the ground, extending your legs out. We're going to open our legs a bit wider here. And we're going to reach towards one toe or one foot, making that arch in your body with your arm. Feeling the stretch in your side and low back. Coming back to center, we're going to alternate sides, reaching towards our foot. Just as far as we're comfortable, feeling the stretch in our side and low back. Coming back to center, and we're going to reach towards the middle. Crawling some hands out in front of us, letting the neck fall towards the ground, feeling the stretch in our back and our thighs. And sitting back up, we're going to bring the feet back together, crossing one heel over opposite knee. Elbow comes across, and we're going to twist, feeling the stretch in the hips, the glutes, the spine, and the upper back. Rolling out that wrist if we'd like to. Taking deep breaths. And switching sides. Opposite heel comes across. Bringing the elbow to knee and rotating. Feeling that spinal stretch. Stretching our hips and shoulders. And rolling off that wrist if we'd like to. Coming back to center. Next, we're going to lay down on our backs. Bringing the knees into a tabletop position. Crossing one heel over opposite knee and pulling in through the thigh towards our chest. Feeling the stretch in our glutes here. Keeping the back nice and flat. We can roll out that hovering ankle if we'd like to. And when we're ready, we can switch sides, bringing the opposite heel across the knee and pulling in through the thigh towards our chest just slightly, feeling the stretch in our glutes and our hips. Again, we can roll out that ankle if we'd like. Taking deep breaths here. And whenever we're ready, we can bring the feet back down, rolling over onto our stomachs. Bringing the hands by the shoulders, pressing each fingertip down. We're going to extend the arms up, rolling the shoulder blades back, opening up the chest, and laying the feet down flat. Coming into a cobra, stretching out the core and the abdominal muscles here. Taking deep breaths. On your next big inhale, bringing the hips back, opening the knees a bit wider, and exhaling into a child's pose. Crawling the fingertips out in front of us, feeling the stretch in our hips, shoulders, and upper back. Taking this time to reflect, be proud of yourselves for getting through this Monday's workout. Also, maybe taking this time for some gratitude. So thinking about the things we're grateful for the high points of your weekend. Taking deep breaths. And whenever you are ready, you can come back up, sitting crisscross applesauce. That is all I have for you guys this afternoon on this lovely Monday. Again, my name is Sam, and I hope you guys really enjoyed today's workout. Some announcements: we are accepting our applications for our prep program. So if you are interested in doing what I do or being a group fitness or personal trainer, then our gym does offer prep courses for free that help you pass those certification exams. So I would highly recommend those if you do want to go down that path. You can check out our website, KSU Sports and Rec, to fill out those applications and send them in as soon as possible. I think they are needed by the end of this month. So other than that, I hope you guys love today's workout. I hope you're having an awesome Monday. And if I don't see you again, have an awesome rest of your week. Bye, guys. Thank you.